Hey guys, what's going on? This is Burnin' Wolfley at Buy Wolfley Games, bringing you guys yet another episode of We Are the Dead. Sorry guys that this video took so long to make. I know it took a long time. It's already Thursday, and you guys haven't got the video yet. But the reason being is because my capture card went a little wonky this week, guys. So unfortunately, I couldn't capture anything for you guys. But you know what? Let's get started with some Walking Dead talk on We Are the Dead, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hey guys, what's going on? Alrighty, so right now, we're going to be talking about the very beginning of the episode. So I think this episode, really quick before I get started, was more of kind of a puzzle piece episode. And what I mean by that is, I find Walking Dead has a lot of puzzle piece episodes, and what that is kind of just putting the story together with these spare little episodes that kind of just make up the story and make it that much more interesting when something crazy or awesome happens in the show. Now, if you guys can kind of imagine, if you guys just watched this previous episode, it was all about Beth. So we kind of figured out exactly where Beth is now and what she's up to and where she is and who took her. And we found out that it was this group that lives at this kind of hospital-like place. Well, it is a hospital, and they just kind of take care of people. It seems really nice at first, but then you kind of realize that it's a little bit kind of crazy and psychotic. And yeah, we're going to kind of break that down today and just talk about that episode and what I think it kind of has to come for the next episodes. Because there wasn't really too much to go off of for this episode as to say like how awesome it was. I thought the episode was good, but I didn't think it was that great compared to the other ones so far. So I want to see what you guys think too as well. Leave in your comments what you guys thought of the episode, and then, yeah, give me your opinions. Anyway, so first thing I want to talk about is why did they lie to Beth? So who I mean by they is, I mean Dawn and the doctor. Dawn was the police officer woman with the black hair who was kind of crazy and the kind of leader of their group. And then there was the doctor, who seemed really nice at the start, but then he got a little crazy. Really quick before we start the episode, guys, though, before I start talking about everything I want to talk about, there are going to be spoilers in this, just like there are every week in We Are the Dead. So, guys, if there are and you spoil something for yourself by watching this, I'm so sorry. Make sure, guys, to come back and watch it after you see the episode. So this is not for people who haven't seen the episode yet. This is for people who have seen the episode and they want to hear my kind of thoughts on it. Anyways, so why did they lie to her and say they found her on the road? Because they didn't. At least I don't think they did, right? Because when she got taken, she was with Daryl, and yeah, they got split up and everything. But I think like Daryl would have found her, and what she explained to them was all she remembered was that there was some sort of like a walker. She was fighting a walker, and then all of a sudden she just like went down, and she doesn't remember anything after that. Well, they kind of rolled with that, and they said, okay, so I don't know why they would lie. Maybe it's some kind of sick plan to kind of like take her over. We kind of figure out a little bit later on why they would do that, but I'm not sure exactly if this group is kind of taking people and making them work for them and stuff like that, like saying they owe them because we saved you and all that crap. So I'm not really sure about that yet. I assume that's kind of the way it's going, but well, I guess we'll just have to find out. She also had bruising on her face, and if it was a walker, she wouldn't really have bruising on her face, and she didn't when she was with Daryl. She looked fine. So I assume, like, personally what I think of this group, I think they beat the crap out of her, and they took her. And then when she wakes up, they make her think that, hey, no, we didn't, we saved your life, and now you owe us. So I think that's kind of what this group is doing to all of its people that it's taking, but I can't be for sure. I just assume that's what's going on, and I think you guys probably think the same thing too as well. It can't just be me. Alright, so our next point is the elevator free fall. And what I mean by that is when her and the doctor, because the first person she kind of speaks to out of the entire group is the doctor, and they kind of have this big conversation, and he's just telling her the way things are around like where they are. And she's like, okay, I understand, like just trying to get to know this group and understand the situation she's in. And they're walking this dead body of this guy who didn't survive over to like this little elevator shaft, and they dump this guy's body off of the elevator shaft, and he just falls. And I was like, oh my gosh. And all you can hear down there is like walkers and stuff, so I wasn't really sure like why they were doing that, but I thought it was hilarious, and I just thought I'd mention it. When Gorman, I believe his name is, the police officer, I don't know, I was kind of confused when he was, like, talking to Beth, and he's, like, high on your thighs, when he came out to her in the kind of, when she was getting food, and he said to her, he's like, you gotta be high, or you're high on your thighs or something. And she kind of looked at him. She's like, okay, you're weird. I was okay. So on that part, like I found out later on that I was right, but I thought before I was like, okay, this guy's like a pedophile. I'm getting like this weird kind of weird feelings. I wasn't sure if he's just a pedophile or an asshole, but it was kind of really weird. I was like, dude, this girl's way too young for you. Like, stop. And yeah, so he did stop eventually. If you guys see the episode, you know exactly what I mean. So stay tuned, and we'll talk about that too as well, because I thought that was an awesome part. Anyways, so as for that, Beth kind of also said, if you feel safe enough to get bored, you're lucky. And when she said that, she was talking to the doctor at that moment, and they were just kind of in his little office there, which is really cool. I thought his office looked pretty awesome and looked pretty interesting. It had all the art in it and stuff. And I think the producers of the show, they just really wanted to show that, like, are we so past normal life that we can't understand art and respect art like we used to? Because art is a big thing. I think it's a big symbolic thing to people, and it's just something that people look towards when they're having a moment of thought or something like that. It's kind of deep, I know, but that's just what I kind of see art as, in my opinion. Another thing too as well, they're eating guinea pigs. What? That's a new thing? So like what? They just farm guinea pigs and eat them? Imagine walking by that place when it's gone, like, and everyone's gone, like seeing these rabid little like like guinea pigs like hanging out, like, oh, what'd they do with them? Oh, they ate them. I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool. Like, it's just showing that, like, everybody's getting a little more desperate and a little more kind of crazier, and like eating guinea pigs. Like, what did they do to you? They brought that guy in, the second doctor, as you find out later in the episode. Why they wanted to save him so bad, I didn't know, but apparently it was because he was a second doctor, because they already had the normal doctor, and then Gorman and him didn't really get along, and they wanted to replace him with apparently this other guy that they had. But the other guy was down and out, and he was kind of almost dying, so they really wanted him to stay alive. Well, the doctor immediately said, I can't keep him alive, I can't do this, he's a goner. And Dawn was kind of like, nope, you're saving this guy, you don't have a choice. And then she kind of slapped Beth. I was like, what the heck? But I realized why they wanted him alive so badly later on, because he was another doctor, and obviously having another doctor would help a lot, but we didn't know that at the time. When Donna slaps Beth randomly, most people were probably like, what the heck? Like, why? Like, what? That didn't make sense. Like, if Beth said something to her, then yeah, that would have made some sense, but it absolutely did not make any sense. Like, why would she slap her like that? But then you kind of realize that this girl, like, she doesn't care. Like, her kind of let go of everything is basically physical abuse. Like, that was kind of her thing throughout the episode. Like, whenever she was upset, this Dawn girl, she would just hit people. Like, that's what she would do. She'd beat people up. Look what she did to Noah. Look what she did to Beth, right? So I think it's just a natural kind of thing for her to do. That's what she does to people when she's pissed off. And yeah, I guess, I don't know, it's not right in any way, like just hitting people because you're mad. I feel like that's something we teach people not to do. And yeah, that's just something she enjoys doing, beating people up for literally doing nothing wrong. So I think the cops are definitely abducting people, and by the cops I just mean like Gorman and Dawn and then all the kind of group. I feel like they were a police force at one time. I don't know what's wrong with them. Like, maybe their coffee was bad and they're just pissed at people now, but they keep on abducting people, and you think that's the last thing that police would want to do, but they're kind of smart in a way, because they're making people think that they literally owe them. And I guess that's something smart to do in a zombie apocalypse, but they're literally beating up these people and making them work for them. Kind of crazy. Kind of weird. I don't really know, but let me know what you guys think of these people in the comments too as well, because they're really confusing. When they bring in this one girl and they look like they're abducting her too, I wasn't sure if that the girl with the frizzy hair, I forget her name, I think it started with a J, and sorry guys, forgive me for not remembering that name, but they didn't really say that much in the episode. Anyways, so they cut off her arm because she had gotten bit on the arm, but she said, I'm not going to be one of you, or something like that. So I don't know if they knew her before or how that worked. I wasn't really sure. I was kind of confused with that part exactly, but if you guys knew, please explain, and please let me know exactly what the heck was going on there, because I was really confused. Noah, the new actor that was kind of in the show, and he was really close to Beth, and he was the one that ended up escaping in the end when Beth unfortunately didn't. But Noah is actually someone I recognize through TV shows as well. He mostly played in like Disney shows though, like he played in a couple Disney movies and stuff like that. He never really played in anything like this before, so it was kind of cool seeing that guy. I think his name's like Chris or something in real life, but seeing him play this kind of character in a show like this kind of dark kind of scenery and stuff like that. It was kind of interesting because normally he's on like kids shows, right? So, but anyways, it's good to see actors sometimes move on and do new things, and I think that's what maybe this guy's trying to do. He's trying to grow up and kind of move on and do these cooler things. And being on The Walking Dead, that's a huge opportunity. I don't care how old you are, who you are, right? Like that's an amazing thing. This show is like no other, and it's one of the best shows on TV. So congrats to him for being on the show. Welcome aboard, man. Why did they want Beth to eat so bad? I was a little confused with that. I think because, like Dawn says at one point, she says, "Well, if you don't eat, you're gonna be weak, and if you're weak, you can't do what you're supposed to do for us and repay us and all that sort of stuff." So I think that is a reason, but I think the other reason is as well. I don't know, but like, what if they're putting something in the food to make them forget things? You know what I mean? Because if once they forget everything. I don't know if that's a thing, like they can actually do that, but what if that was true, right? They have like all this medication and stuff. They're clearly capable of a lot of things. They're beating people up and making them forget. But what if that's how everyone's kind of forgetting why they're there? Because they believe, since they have this medicine or whatever it is, that they have to be there, or they just don't remember kind of stuff from the past. Like the Gorman guy, he was definitely a pedophile because... or something. I guess like pedophile, is that appropriate? Yeah, it's definitely appropriate for this episode. But anyways, they're really pushing that off. Like when he stuck the lollipop in like Beth's mouth. Like what the heck was that all about? That was so weird. It's like, dude, like really? If I saw a guy like that in the zombie apocalypse, he would be dead in a second. I would kill him. It's like, man, she's like 16 years old in the show. Like, what are you doing? Get off this girl. Like, grow up, man. Like. The zombie apocalypse isn't that bad, okay? People are dying left and right, but that doesn't mean you can rape 16-year-old girls. That's just wrong. Anyway, so yeah, I thought that was kind of messed up, a little bit weird. I wasn't really ready for that at all, but I kind of did see it coming from a couple scenes earlier, so at least I was prepared. As for the doctor that was kind of really taking a liking to Beth at the start, I really liked him. Unfortunately, at the end of the kind of episode, I wasn't really that fond of him anymore, for obvious reasons if you guys have watched the episode. But, yeah, I don't know, like, he seemed like a cool guy. He was really nice. He seemed interesting. He seemed cool. He seemed very caring. And I liked that. I like caring people in the apocalypse. That's probably why I'd die first, because I'd believe everyone and be like, oh, this guy's nice to me. But anyways, so yeah, he was very, very polite to Beth. He treated her fairly. He, you know what I mean? He didn't force her to do anything. He just kind of let her have her own choices and stuff like that. And I really appreciated that from his character. The scene where the Doc and Beth are talking and they're on the roof looking out to the city. Now, that was the first city that mostly we've been in the woods for the past like couple seasons and stuff like that, and we've been in the woods for a long time in the show, and now we're finally going out and seeing what it's like throughout like the city. And I don't remember exactly what this, like, where it was or the city was called, but it was like the city where they began at the start, and it's just kind of showing because that's kind of the first time you ever really see that city so far, other than the beginning. So it was kind of cool to see, holy crap, like this place is actually destroyed, like everything's gone to crap. It might not be fixed, you know what I mean? Because it did look pretty deadly, it did look pretty intense, as if there's no way of fixing all this kind of turmoil that's gone on. Another thing too I was kind of thinking about before the scene with the doctor and Beth, and what the doctor told Beth to do after she got on the roof, I was kind of thinking that this is kind of cool because Beth got taken by these like medical people, right? Like the people that know a lot about medicine and all that sort of stuff, and now she's working with medicine. Well, who else worked with medicine a lot? Her father. So I don't know if that's the show kind of like showing that side, you know what I mean? Saying, hey, like, Herschel died, but that doesn't mean we lost all of our doctors and stuff like that. But I think it's cool that his daughter is actually like not because she wants to, but she's kind of showing that she's taking on this trade of, yes, I have to take care of people, I have to make sure they're okay, that sort of thing, and this is my job. So I really enjoy kind of seeing Beth kind of take on that same role as Herschel had. Not like she wanted to take it on, but I don't know, I found that was interesting. I thought it was something cool, and just something to kind of talk about, because Herschel was one of my favorite characters, along with other people's characters, so there's that. Why did the doctor lie to her and tell her to get the wrong medicine from that doctor? Well, we found out later on that it was because that guy that she accidentally killed was the other doctor that Gorman was talking about earlier that they were planning to get. And what I mean by that is Gorman kind of threatened the doctor and said that, hey, if we have to get another one, we'll get another one. So the doctor kind of decided, okay, well, I'm going to kill this guy. But the stupid thing was he used Beth to do it. And I didn't really like that. I was like, why are you using Beth? Like, she's a good girl, you treated her nicely. And that's where I kind of didn't like the doctor anymore. I assume a lot of people didn't either. But, yeah, that kind of ticked me off. I was like, dude, Beth's a good girl. Don't take advantage of her. The officer chick is kind of psycho. She's like, if I had to compare her to something, I'd compare her to that babysitter. Not that I ever had one, but I'm sure some people did in their lifetime. That babysitter that, like, she's crazy and she's completely evil, but when your parents come home, she's, like, totally normal and fine. I don't know if you guys can compare to that. If you can, well, that's scary. But if you know what I mean. She's awful with you, but as soon as your parents get home, then she's kind of like all nice and sweet again, and then you look at her and you're like, you psycho. But that's kind of what this girl's like. She's just nuts, and like she keeps hitting people and abusing them and kind of doing crazy stuff. I don't really like it. When Donna was talking to Beth, I thought it was really crazy when she grabbed Beth's wrist and she kind of showed that like Beth was slitting her wrist. I'm not sure if that's from before, because you guys remember that she did slit her wrist a long time ago in season 2 when she was telling Maggie that she wanted to commit suicide and stuff like that a long, long time ago. But that kind of owned Beth. Like, Beth was trying to say, like, no, I'm strong and all this stuff, and then she showed her that. She's like, look at your wrist, and that Beth just kind of shut up. She didn't say anything. But, like, what can you say? You know what I mean? Because that's kind of like admitting defeat. Like, yeah, I'm strong, but then you show that, and it's like, oh. You know what I mean? At one time I was weak, but maybe Donna just kind of Dawn just wanted to get her point across with that. So it's kind of crazy, kind of sad in a way, because that was a tough time for her. But yeah, anyway, so it's kind of foreshadowed, like talking about the season 2. When Beth found the dead one-armed girl in her office, I was like, okay, who killed her? Like, how did that happen? I wasn't sure if she just died. I don't really know exactly what happened or who killed her, but I believe it was in Dawn's office, so maybe Dawn did it. But she was a walker, and Beth didn't know that at the time when she was in there. But then Goofball came in, and by Goofball I mean the other officer, Gorman, and he was like basically trying to rape Beth, and he told her that he wouldn't say anything about her being in the office if she did what she was supposed to do with him, and that meant sex. So he said to her, he's like, okay, you have to do this and we won't tell anyone. He's like, you understand? She said yes, and right there and then I was like, okay, Beth's playing this guy, he's gonna get owned, something's gonna happen. Well, actually, what he does is, remember how he shoved the lollipop in Beth's mouth, and she kind of looked at him, right, and she was just like, oh, like, screw this guy, right? Well, anyways, when I saw that part, I was laughing so hard because I thought of this little funny pun, and because he made her suck on the lollipop in that one part, right? Well, when I saw that, I first thing I thought of was suck on that, because he made her suck on the lollipop. So I thought that was freaking hilarious, and I thought that was a really funny pun. Anyways, let's move on from that and talk about the elevator scene when Beth and Noah finally decide to escape. So Beth kind of tells Dawn that, oh, Gorman was in the office trying to find you, and same with the other girl. I saw them both heading over to your office, and then Dawn's like, okay, well, I'll go over there and check things out. She kind of trusted Beth with that, and Beth was actually planning on escaping with Noah right there and then. So she kind of owned Dawn, like kind of said, like, okay, screw you, like, you go that way, I'll go this way. But anyway, so they're climbing down the elevator, and there was a bunch of walkers down there. I didn't, like, that's kind of crazy for them to go down there. I mean, did you see how many walkers were tossed down there, like, every second? So I guess they just thought that was the only way to escape, so they went down there. When they're running in that little, like, area, after they got out of the elevator shaft kind of thing, or they're still in it, I guess you could say, but when they're in that elevator shaft and they're kind of like talking or whatever, and Beth like grabbed like the gun and she started lighting up like these walkers, and I was like, yeah, Beth, like, that girl, like, you get her going. She was just like kind of taking out all these walkers all at the same time. I thought that was really, really cool that she was kind of taking that role on of taking the gun and doing everything, and Noah was just kind of jogging. I don't know, I think he had a really sore leg because of what happened with his father and him. That's another thing that they talked about too as well, but we won't go too much into that. When Beth curb stomps that walker, and her and Noah are kind of like really slowly struggling out and trying to get away, but they're doing it very slow, so it's kind of getting to a point where it's like, okay guys, like, let's go, let's get moving. And it went on for a while, but yeah, so when Beth kind of like curb stomped that walker, I was like, holy crap, Beth is a badass now. When Beth gets tackled by Dawn and the cops and Noah escapes, and Beth starts smiling. I think everyone was kind of confused, like, while she was smiling, but at the same time, it's kind of like this evil grin, like, you don't have any power over me anymore. And Beth kind of, I thought that's what I got from it. I got kind of this idea that she was like, I do what I want. You guys can't stop me from doing what I believe is right, and I'm gonna do this no matter what. So you can put me anywhere, you can put me in my place, I don't care, but I'm gonna do what I want. So I thought that was really cool. That also leads to something else I'm gonna talk about at the end of the episode, guys. So keep that in mind, stay tuned. But also, when the doctor told Beth to kill the doctor because he didn't want to be replaced, we already spoke about that. Dawn also slaps Beth again, kind of hits her with a weapon this time, which was kind of crazy. But when Beth finally gets out, she goes and she starts walking, and this is the very end of the episode, guys, like very last scene. She starts walking over towards the doctor, and she had a little like scissors. She had scissors, and she was gonna kill him. I was like, what? She was gonna like go behind him and kill him. Well, guess who walks in right when she's about to kill him? Carol, who we haven't seen in a little while. So that kind of made me think, holy crap, what's going on with this? Like, that's why Daryl didn't come back with Carol, but it's crazy that she ended up back at the hospital. You know what I mean? Like, you'd think Daryl and Carol would be able to take care of themselves, but I guess not. I mean, apparently these people just like took her or did what they did and found her. So Beth didn't kill the doctor because she found Carol on the stretcher. The last point I want to share with you guys, it said, when Daryl said in the previous episode, come on out, when he was talking to Michonne, I know exactly who he was talking to now. He was talking to Noah. Noah is the guy that is with Daryl, guys. Just so you all know, Noah is the guy that is with Daryl. I don't know from seeing anything, obviously. I've seen as much as you guys have when it comes to the show, if you've seen all the episodes so far. But I am 99.9% sure that it is Noah with Daryl. Because he did escape, right? And, like, who else would kind of come to Daryl? And Daryl also said he was with Carol or something like that, or they saw Beth, or she was with these people. In the last episode, they were kind of talking to Daryl or whatever, and they were just asking him like all this stuff, like through interviews and stuff I saw. And anyways, I swear that Noah is with Daryl, guys. So if you're curious still to whoever that was, it was with Noah. It was kind of obvious, but I guess we'll have to find out and we'll see. And then if I'm right, well then perfect. I'll brag about it next episode. Another thing too, guys, next episode is going to be mostly about, it's not going to be about Rick and the group. It's going to be about Abraham and all of them. So it's going to be Abraham, Eugene, Glenn, and Maggie now, who have joined him, unfortunately. I was kind of upset about that. But yeah, so that's what's going on in the world of Walking Dead, guys. Thank you so much for watching these videos. This is We Are the Dead. It was a bit late to make this video out for you guys, but at least it's out there before the next episode. So I got all my stuff figured out now, guys, and there should be videos up every single day for you guys. If you guys really enjoying the gaming aspect of my channel, make sure to watch my gaming videos as well. It is mostly a gaming channel, but I still like to do my reviews on the shows I love and care about, and Walking Dead happens to be one of them. So guys, make sure to pay a lot of attention to my channel. It's going to get bigger and bigger, and I hope it grows with you guys by my side. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Brandon Wolfley at Wolfley Games. Peace.